program on Netflix, failed to rank among Netflix's top 300 most watched titles between January and June. New York Post.
The storm hit overnight, and absolutely no one saw it coming. Meghan Markle, the woman once wrapped in an aura of untouchable glamour, polished perfection, and carefully curated prestige, is now reportedly staring down a professional nightmare unlike anything most Hollywood figures ever encounter. According to multiple sources deep inside Netflix, the platform that once championed her star power is now describing a catastrophic collapse of her brand, and executives are said to be demanding millions in damages. Yes, millions. And insiders claim this situation didn't erupt suddenly, but simmered silently for months behind closed doors, where frustration had been steadily growing. Netflix insiders say the problems began with constant delays, mismanagement, and spiraling creative conflicts surrounding Meghan's high-profile projects, shows that had been promoted internally as potential crown jewels for the platform. Instead, they repeatedly missed deadlines, budgets ballooned far beyond projections, and internal teams quietly complained that Meghan's hands-on approach went far beyond a typical executive producer role.
Netflix has dropped its trailer for Meghan Markle's Christmas special. Let's have a look.
I love the holiday season. It's about finding time to connect with the people we love.
Yeah.
Embracing traditions.
I like this.
The special hits the streaming platform on December 3, Kinsey. I'm not sure I can even hate watch this.
Some even whisper that she was micromanaging in ways no one expected, the kind of interference executives insist cost the company enormous amounts of time, momentum, and potential revenue. According to individuals familiar with the situation, the tension finally snapped during a heated, closed-door meeting last month. Netflix leadership, already exasperated by production setbacks and rising costs, confronted Meghan head-on. Sources describe the conversation as blunt, merciless, and shockingly direct. Executives reportedly laid out a detailed breakdown of missed goals, stalled content, and inflated budgets, and made their expectations unmistakably clear: recoup the losses, or the company would be forced to take legal action. Legal analysts say the stakes here are massive. The contracts Meghan signed reportedly include strict penalty clauses for delays, as well as provisions allowing Netflix to reclaim funding if a project fails to meet agreed-upon terms. Insiders familiar with the documents describe them as ironclad, so airtight that there is little room for reinterpretation or escape.
Out of the top 200 altogether, Netflix has made.
Now, those very contracts sit at the center of what many are calling the most consequential professional shakeup of Meghan Markle's post-royal career. What happened next, however, is where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. Insiders claim Meghan flew into a private rage when confronted with Netflix's demands. Eyewitnesses say she stormed out of meetings, slammed doors, and even threatened to walk away from the partnership entirely. Several staffers describe her behavior as frantic and unhinged, alleging she shouted at producers and legal teams, insisting the company had no right to challenge her creative authority or question her vision. The fallout has been swift and unforgiving. Hollywood insiders report that multiple projects once considered guaranteed releases are now suspended indefinitely. Marketing efforts have been paused, scheduled appearances have been either cancelled or quietly adjusted, and behind the scenes, Netflix is reportedly exploring every available legal avenue to recover millions tied up in productions that insiders say never reached the standards expected. And the consequences are far deeper than financial. The damage to Meghan's brand, once crafted with painstaking precision, is being described as devastating. Netflix had been one of her strongest platforms for reinvention, a stage where she could transition from royal figure to Hollywood power player, all while maintaining an air of exclusivity and purpose. Now, with deadlines missed, executives displeased, and potential lawsuits looming, that carefully polished image is cracking at record speed.
At least there won't be any more, as far as we know. I can't imagine they would want to have more, but I will spare you clips of it. It would get copyright.
Outside the Hollywood boardrooms, the drama has only intensified. Social media erupted almost instantly, with fans, critics, and gossip accounts picking apart every detail they could find. Hashtags like #MarkleMeltdown and #Netflix vs Meghan climbed the trending lists within hours, and the story shows no signs of slowing. Commentators say the narrative is brutally viral, painting Meghan as someone whose ambition may have finally outpaced her ability to manage it. Sources close to Meghan say she is in full crisis containment mode. Her PR team is reportedly working around the clock, desperately trying to reframe the situation as a fight for creative freedom, artistic control, and bold innovation. But digital analysts warn that these efforts are being drowned out by leaked internal information, insider accounts, and the rapidly growing perception of chaos surrounding her projects. And it doesn't stop there. High-profile Hollywood contacts are reportedly pulling back. Executives who once praised her vision are now said to be distancing themselves, wary of being linked to stalled or troubled productions. Talent agents, producers, and even celebrity collaborators are allegedly pausing or reassessing partnerships until the Netflix issue reaches some kind of resolution. Meghan's professional credibility, a brand she spent years shaping, is suddenly under intense scrutiny, with cracks showing in places she never expected. Even within her inner circle, the pressure is said to be overwhelming. Friends reportedly describe her as anxious, emotional, and unusually reactive.
Suddenly under intense scrutiny.
Scrabble, especially timed Scrabble. It's something that I've loved for a long time. I'm very good at Jeopardy.
Some insiders claim private conversations have revolved around fears of financial penalties, contract obligations, and the terrifying possibility that Netflix could publicly expose details that would further damage her reputation. And according to those same sources, the timing could not be worse. Meghan had been relying on a sequence of upcoming releases to strengthen her post-royal identity, but now those projects are stalled, leaving a dangerous vacuum for critics and commentators to fill with speculation. Meanwhile, media outlets that once celebrated her Hollywood ambitions are now rewriting the narrative, framing it around mismanagement, turmoil, and alleged meltdown moments. The situation has even drawn the attention of legal professionals, who point out that contracts of this scale often include powerful remedies that give platforms extensive leverage. These agreements typically allow the company to reclaim funds, enforce deadlines, and hold producers accountable for operational failures. In other words, Netflix may very well have the legal and financial power to recoup millions, or compel Meghan to honor the original terms or face litigation. But here's the most explosive twist. Insiders hint that Netflix is reportedly considering going public with its mounting concerns. If Meghan fails to resolve the situation behind closed doors, it wouldn't just be a first in celebrity media disputes. It could permanently damage her hard-earned reputation in Hollywood, shaking the foundation of her carefully constructed post-royal brand. Sources describe the scenario as a PR nightmare of epic, almost unprecedented proportions, one that could affect future partnerships, endorsements, and even her credibility as a content creator. And yet, Meghan's camp insists she is standing firm. Sources close to her claim she remains fully committed to her creative vision, confident in her instincts, and unwilling to compromise on the projects that have come to define her public persona and professional brand. Insiders, however, caution that this determination may come at a very steep cost. Netflix, they note, has far more leverage than Meghan in the current standoff, and the balance of power is heavily skewed against her as the saga continues to unfold. Industry watchers are now monitoring every development, with meetings, emails, production schedules, and internal communications all under microscopic scrutiny. Every tweet, social media post, and minor public appearance is being analysed as either evidence of careful strategic planning or outright panic. In the eye of this storm is Meghan Markle herself, reportedly in tears behind closed doors, confronting the frightening reality that her post-royal empire, painstakingly built with ambition, media savvy, and star power, could collapse before it ever truly flourished. In Hollywood terms, the stakes could not be higher. A celebrity's brand is their currency, influence, and bargaining power. Sources insist Meghan's brand is at a pivotal crossroads, one that could define the trajectory of her career for years. One insider chillingly summed it up. This isn't just a contract dispute. This is the moment Meghan Markle's Hollywood credibility is being tested, and the consequences could be devastating. The question on everyone's lips is simple, yet terrifying. Can Meghan weather the storm, or is this the start of a full-scale collapse? With Netflix reportedly demanding millions and the media circling like predators, the pressure is not only internal, it's intensely public. relentless and merciless. Social media erupted almost immediately. As whispers of Netflix's demands leaked, entertainment journalists, gossip accounts, and mainstream outlets began dissecting Meghan Markle's every move. Hashtags like #MarkleMeltdown and #NetflixVs Meghan shot to trending status within hours. The narrative painted a picture of a woman under siege, struggling to keep a carefully built brand from appearing dangerously fragile. Insiders suggest the leaks were deliberate. Some internal documents reportedly came from frustrated staffers who wanted the truth out, knowing the media would devour it. Screenshots of emails, budget spreadsheets, and production timelines circulated online, all pointing to a pattern of missed deadlines, budget overruns, and mismanagement. Hollywood insiders claim these revelations were enough to shake even Meghan's most loyal supporters. Meanwhile, Netflix is allegedly moving quietly but aggressively. Sources say the streaming giant has begun assembling a powerhouse legal team to explore every possible avenue. They are not bluffing. One insider stressed that Netflix intends to protect its investments, and when it comes to Meghan, they hold substantial leverage. Reports indicate that preliminary notices of financial recourse have already been sent, reportedly sending Meghan's team into a state of high alert. Staffers and advisors are working around the clock, scrambling to spin the story, reassure collaborators, and contain the damage. Morale among her team, however, is said to be plummeting. Whispered conversations are filled with doubt and tension. A former associate reportedly asked, "Is she really going to pull this off? Or is it about to blow up in her face?" Sources describe Meghan herself as emotionally raw, confronting the gap between her public persona of calm control and the private reality of mounting pressure, scrutiny, and potential financial liability. Eyewitnesses claim Meghan has been seen in tears multiple times during closed-door meetings, struggling to reconcile the confident, in-control executive image she projects with the chaos and criticism building around her projects. One insider noted her emotional state as volatile, saying she has been crying, snapping, and lashing out, creating an atmosphere where colleagues reportedly feel like they are walking on eggshells. And yet, despite these intense emotional displays, Meghan reportedly refuses to back down. Sources say she is determined to fight for her creative vision, even if it means entering a full-scale battle with Netflix. She believes in what she's creating. One insider explained, even with millions at stake, she feels she's right, and that stubbornness is both her strength and her biggest vulnerability. The media storm only amplifies the tension. Entertainment journalists are digging deep into Meghan's projects, past statements, and production history, uncovering repeated delays, cancelled appearances, and shifting timelines. Every new piece of information feeds the narrative of a star struggling to manage both her brand and her high-profile projects, painting a portrait of chaos lurking behind the polished Instagram posts, public appearances, and magazine covers. Industry analysts warn that this is not merely a public relations problem, it's a career-defining moment. One expert noted that if Meghan navigates the situation wisely, she could emerge stronger than ever. But if it spirals further, she risks watching a once untouchable brand unravel in real time. Legal professionals also point out that the contracts between Meghan and Netflix leave very little room for negotiation, with clauses covering delivery deadlines, production oversight, and financial accountability, giving Netflix considerable leverage in the dispute, according to insiders. The network could potentially recoup millions already spent on projects that have yet to meet their contractual obligations. Some sources describe this as a financial trapdoor waiting to be sprung, and Meghan's legal team is reportedly scrambling to figure out how to respond. Meanwhile, social media continues to explode with speculation, leaks, and conspiracy theories, with fans and critics dissecting every possible detail, from the content of her shows to her recent public appearances. Everyone is trying to figure out if Meghan can survive this storm, or if the empire she has spent years building is about to implode. Influencers, commentators, and even entertainment journalists are weighing in, some defending her fiercely, others predicting a spectacular fall from grace, painting a portrait of chaos lurking behind her carefully curated public image. The online conversation has become a relentless echo chamber of doubt, scrutiny, and gossip. Sources say even close collaborators are starting to feel the pressure. Production teams, writers, and consultants who once praised Meghan's vision are reportedly uneasy with the current trajectory, with some allegedly pausing new projects until the situation stabilizes. One insider noted that hesitation spreads quickly in Hollywood, and with the stakes so high, fear of association with potential failure is growing like wildfire. Meanwhile, Meghan's PR machine has reportedly shifted into DEFCON 1. Staffers are working non-stop to spin stories, issue statements, and create diversions to protect her image. Every press release, interview, and social media post is now meticulously scrutinized and vetted. Yet leaks and the mounting public attention make it almost impossible to fully control the narrative. Even palace insiders are watching with a mix of concern and bemusement, noting that Meghan's high-profile Hollywood conflicts have once again collided with the media's insatiable appetite for scandal. Sources describe private conversations where advisors warned Meghan about the dangers of public overexposure, but according to insiders, those warnings were reportedly ignored. Industry observers are watching closely, aware that Netflix's next moves could set the tone for the entire entertainment sector. A high-profile lawsuit, financial penalties, or a public statement could not only shape Meghan's career, but also send shockwaves across Hollywood, signaling the potential consequences of missed deadlines or unfulfilled contracts. Some analysts argue this could become a cautionary tale, a lesson about the delicate balance between celebrity influence and corporate accountability. And at the center of it all, Meghan Markle reportedly endures tears, tension, and fury in private meetings, while the media paints a picture of chaos, uncertainty, and potential collapse. Sources indicate she is scrambling to regain control, but every move seems to generate new challenges, new headlines, and fresh scrutiny. One insider summed up the mood perfectly. She's brilliant, ambitious, and determined, but the combination of public pressure, corporate tension, and the weight of her own brand has created the perfect storm. Right now, Meghan is battling on all fronts, financially, legally, and emotionally. And as the drama continues to unfold, the world watches with bated breath. Hollywood elites, media pundits, and social media users alike are speculating, can Meghan pull herself out of this nightmare, or is the Netflix conflict the beginning of a collapse that could define her post-royal career for years to come? The tension is palpable, the stakes enormous, and the fallout is far from over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. We want to know what you think about Meghan's Hollywood battle.